okay? Listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I have an amazing guest with me today. My beautiful, amazing guest, Miss Alyssa Space.
Yes, hello.
Listen, from For Her Cosmetics. So for all you beauty queens out there that like to get your face beat to the gods, whoever those gods may be, you trying to get your face beat to them, this is your girl right here. And I want to thank you so much for coming in. I know you are extremely busy with all of the many blessings that God has given you to start and those ventures. And I know that you are, you got a lot going on. So I appreciate you for coming today, guys. Listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, today we're talking about make the executive decision. Oftentimes we find ourselves in positions where we have to make decisions. Every day we make decisions. We make decisions on what we're gonna wear, how we're gonna do our hair, how we're gonna do our makeup. If we're gonna do a beat up to the guys, we're gonna do a little shimmer a little bit. We're gonna do a night glam. Every day we're making decisions. And if we're not careful, we will end up making the wrong decisions, or somebody will end up making those decisions for us.
Right.
So we're here. Of course, this show is sponsored by PBA Royal. Listen, PBA Royal is a training school for pageantry, music, media, and all of the arts. Make sure you have your children sign up. We are right here live in the studio. Now, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. I got my beautiful guest, Miss Alyssa Space from For Her Cosmetics in the building. So we're going to dive right into it. Listen, make an executive decision is what we're talking about today. What made you start For Her Cosmetics? What was the aha, I want to do this
moment? Yes. Well, I started off in chemistry, so I already had the background in the formulation and development portion. But it really was just more so about like representation and like giving women of color like a platform to be able to express themselves through cosmetics that are not only beautiful and vibrant, but also healthy and like health conscious. So
now, going to school to be a chemist, like a chemist, like that's not something that you would normally hear in communities that look like me and you. Usually people want to go be a music artist, they want to go be a singer, they want to go be entertainment or law or be a doctor, but you don't usually hear someone say, I want to be a chemist. That deals with chemistry. That's science and math for y'all that don't know. Okay, what was that decision like? Because I know that was hard. Because that's two subjects, and you're creating something sometimes from nothing.
Right.
So tell me, what was that journey like picking chemistry as a major?
Well, at first, my mentors actually back in high school didn't even suggest that I go into science. So it was really just like me taking like myself up by the bootstraps and realizing like this is what I want to go into. I know I already want to do research and development, and it just took me to having the courage to actually major in this field that was not predominantly, occupied by either women or women of color, especially. So it really was just a matter of what I really wanted, and then knowing that if I took this path, okay, maybe one day I'll work for a cosmetic company. Because at first, I didn't know I was going to start a line. It was definitely, it came though, and I was really happy I made that decision, and now it's just in me to share it. Yes.
So you made the decision even after you were advised not to.
Right.
And so many of us get advised or don't get advised to do certain things in our lives that will hinder us from propelling into our future or our destiny because we're listening to other people. And sometimes you have to make the decision. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about making the executive decision. Sometimes you have to make that decision. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm going to go do what God has given me in my heart to do, what He's instructed me to do. Because what He told you to do, you may feel you can't accomplish it. Don't put your insecurities or your failures on me. I'm going to go reach out and I'm going to go get it. Because, we live in a time frame now where we could be whatever we want to be.
Exactly. If you just go for it.
Clearly. Now, when you decided that you wanted to do chemistry and you understood all of the things that's going to be required of you, the prerequisites in class, and you're a graduate.
Yes.
Graduate of what school?
Michigan State University.
Michigan State, go green.
Go white.
Go white. I know all the U of M people. Okay, don't cringe. Don't turn from the station. Still watch me, y'all. Okay, I'm Bowling Green, so I'm in Ohio. I'm in a whole other state, so don't have no beef. But what was that like? Because a lot of youth and you work with youth, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. A lot of young people, they have this decision where they feel like they have to make a decision right now on what it is that they want to be. Right. And even though you were advised, you know what, I can do something else. What do you suggest? Because a lot of kids didn't go to school today. So if you got kids at home, they need to be watching Yeah, I Said It. So they can be listening to Alyssa Space from For Her Cosmetics, because she's trying to help your young people. What would you tell young people that are getting ready to transition from high school to college or college into the work world? What would be some advice that you would give to them in terms of finding their profession or career?
I would always say, obviously do things that you really love, but also don't be afraid to take a risk. Like if it's something that isn't necessarily commonly sought after or that people do, but you have some type of interest in it, or it makes you happy or it fulfills you, I say go for it. For me, like I said, I was like one of the only of my kind, like a woman, minority in chemistry, and it was like, so what? Like I want to do this, I'm good at it, and it makes sense to me, so why not go into it, something I love, and actually be able to profit from it and be able to use it in the future for what I want. So for kids out there, like go after what you really believe in and what you have a desire and love and passion for.
And you know what, something that you said that you didn't say, but it's inadvertently, I tell people, if you think long, you think wrong. And a lot of times people just contemplate and they sit on a decision, and then life is just moving around them and they feel stuck. You know, sometimes in our haste or in our desire to be successful entrepreneurs, successful in our career fields, we sometimes have to make a decision, and we often sit on a decision and we feel like life is just moving and passing us by, and are we really successful? Were there any times ever, and I think we talked about this before the show, that you felt like, you know, am I moving? Am I progressing? Like, okay, was this the right decision?
Yes, I still have those moments where it's like, I know I'm not doing this in vain, but sometimes it's like we were saying, I don't want to get up. Like it's hard, and it's not just it's not always supposed to be like this glamorized, like, oh, I'm a CEO, like I have to do whatever I want. It's my schedule, and it's like, yeah, you have to do everything. There's times where you have to figure out how to do some type of marketing. And you might not even have a background in marketing.
Absolutely.
You have to figure it out until, of course, you have the working capital, or you have like the resources in order to fulfill whatever you're trying to complete. So it's hard, but it's a good hard. It's worth it. Like it definitely pays off in the end. But
listen, it definitely pays off in the end. If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before we take it back, we're gonna add more to it. I have my amazing guest, Miss Alyssa Space, in the building from For Her Cosmetics, guys. Listen, if you're tuning in, get all your kids. They at home anyway. They ain't doing nothing, especially if you got little girls that want to do makeup. And I mean, there's boys out there that do makeup too. So if they want to watch it, they can watch it too. And they may have a girlfriend that wears makeup, because y'all know, ladies, when we hugging all our men, sometimes we get that makeup on their collar and on their shirt, and they be mad at us. They be mad because we be putting makeup on their clothes, and they got to take their clothes to the dry cleaners. Okay, hello somebody. But listen, I always tell people, you know, I ask people, one of my good girlfriends and partner, shout out to Haith Johnson from Love That Works, from La Hair Host in Ferndale. She asks, are you a processor or are you a jumper? And sometimes in our journey of making decisions, and if you're tuning in, we're talking about make the executive decision. Sometimes in our journey, we have to make decisions, and some people process things a lot longer than others. Some people have to know the details. They got to know, okay, well, you about to start a cosmetic line. Well, what kind of cosmetic line? Okay, well, who is it for? And, you know, and then there are going to be some people in your life that are jumpers, and they just like, let's go.
Take the risk.
Come on, Space. We going. we taking orbit over. Let's go. Let's do it. Are you a processor or are you a jumper?
Is it possible to be both?
Yes, I think I'm both.
I think I'm both. Because, okay, so in the beginning, I knew I wanted my own cosmetic line. But as far as, like, when it goes into, like, making strategic decisions for, like, okay, do I want to participate in this pop-up or do I want to go to this panel? Okay. I need to know what are going to be the benefits if one is going to outweigh the other. Yeah. So that's when I will process things. But when it comes to, like, saying I want to go on a trip and just take my cosmetics with me, I'm going. I'm going to apply for the application to go and do Shark Tank, or I'm going to take that application and get into that accelerator program for my business, because I want to take those risks. I want to push myself. But sometimes, you know, we do try to make calculated decisions. Other times it's like, I'm going for it. It's all mine.
And you know what's so funny that you say that, taking a risk. Why do you think so many people struggle with taking that risk? just, I mean, because you're young, you're 26, and somebody could easily say, go get a job, you know, get stable first, then go pursue it. But and then you say your mom, she told you, like, girl, go pursue that dream, girl.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Why do you think people have such a hindrance or a lack thereof when it comes to taking those risks of following their dreams?
I think that it is a fear. There's fear there, and it's not necessarily like that you're scared of failure. Sometimes I feel like people are scared to really live up to their full potential. There are like times where people like they have this ability to do something and they don't take advantage of it because it's like, okay, well, if I get so good, then that means I got to maintain it. Yeah. So it's like now you set the bar and you don't want to continue to maintain it, and that's really what it is sometimes for people. I think they're just scared to maintain that level of like boss.
Yes.
Bossism.
Yeah. They haven't reached their bossism yet. I like that word. I'm about to write it down, girl. I'm going to credit you, girl. I'm going to credit you where it came from. I love that. Bossism. Is your bossism up to par? Okay? So, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it, oh, it's upside down. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm here with my girl, Alisa. Why do I want to keep going?
It's okay.
Alyssa Space. Alyssa, I keep wanting to call you Alisa.
That's okay.
You know what? My mom had a coworker who did makeup with her. Her name was Alyssa. And my mom did makeup for over 30 years, and I think we were talking about that. And it was so amazing because you can just take this skill that's so minor and then turn it into this major profitable situation. And I saw my mom do it for 30 years. And it's such an amazing opportunity. Now, when you think about how thoughtful you took your ideas and you thought about the average woman, you thought about the ingredients, because for her cosmetics is vegan.
Yes.
Vegan. I mean, all natural vegan products. When you made that decision, because there are multi-billion-dollar companies who have cruelty to animals that they use the makeup on. They're scaling back on a lot of that now, but you made the decision to make it vegan. Where did that decision come into play?
So actually, when I was younger, I worked at a holistic center.
Ooh.
When I was 16.
Okay.
I worked at a holistic center, and they practiced different like natural remedies to heal the body. So like one of the things that the body suffered, or that Americans suffer from a lot, is colon cancer. So they focused on colon hydrotherapy, and a lot of times there were like natural remedies to like heal these problems that a lot of pharmaceutical companies try to handle. But I realized that, okay, we can be beautiful without sacrificing our health. So I knew that there was some way to create products that were all natural that didn't harm the body like the products that we typically use.
Absolutely. So. And you know, even with that being said, because of what's going on in our world and in other countries, with the viruses that are being heavily spread, and a lot of our cosmetics, a lot of our beauty products are coming from overseas.
Right.
And you don't know who's handling your packaging. You don't know who's handling your shipment. You don't know who's handling making your product itself. And so walk me through the process of picking the colors, you know, picking the ingredients. You say I see you with your lab coat on, honey, and you're looking like some serious business. So walk me through that space. Walk me through that.
Okay, so having the background in chemistry allows me to manipulate the product all the way from the beginning to the end.
Wow.
So I make sure that all of my raw materials are sourced here in America, and they're actually all natural and like FDA approved.
Yes.
You know, just I have a certain level of transparency and just honesty with my customers too.
Okay.
And so honestly, I start with the raw materials.
Okay.
Just in a nutshell, I melt these materials down into one, and then I emulsify them, which means solidifies them back into like the solid.
Yes, emulsify. You better get y'all some emulsified makeup.
Yes, and then I have the final product that I actually package and then label and actually distribute.
Okay.
So I mean, there's more to it,
right? For sure.
But that is the basic process from the beginning to the end that I do.
When you made that process and you got your first few products, what were your first, like, you say, okay, I'm gonna start off with lipsticks, and then I'll add on this, and then I'll add on this. What was your starter?
I always remember this. So my very first batch was just like, I tested my products on my mother because I am cruelty-free.
Yes, Mom. Thank you to all the supportive mothers out there.
And my very first batch was like so like mucky, it just didn't really hold a form.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I got to go back to the drawing board. And then I made another batch. It was too dry because I was like overcompensating. And then finally, like within like 3 months of starting my formulation, I was able to find a formula for my lipsticks that I really liked that held and had a great shelf life. So yeah, that's how I got the baby to come through, and now I reuse it and I teach,
That's amazing.
Babies how to. So.
And you know what? Speaking of just being that thoughtful, so many people that look like you and I oftentimes don't want to reach back, and not necessarily to give a hand out, but a hand up.
Right.
A lot of times we don't want to look down upon, I'm not struggling, or I don't need help, I got this, and sometimes you have to make the decision, no, I don't got this, yes, I do need help,
right.
I do need to learn some things. So what were some mentors or some people that you looked up to as you were transitioning in your entrepreneurship and your business that was like, okay, I can do this?
Okay. Actually, before I got into the mentors, I worked in corporate. So I worked as a quality assurance chemist in the FDA regulated lab. So that's kind of like where I got.
Yeah, so you already had a stumping ground. Okay.
Yeah, so I got the basis for how I wanted this to work. I knew like, okay, I'm going to follow these laws, these rules, and whatever. Okay. Now, as far as like people that actually encouraged me to stay in the business and to actually go deeper into, dive deeper into what I was doing, I have a mentor who has a line actually herself, an all-natural line that I've known for 3.5 years, and she literally like helped me from the very beginning, like scratch, like on paper, like I'm just putting it on paper first, to actually living it and getting me opportunities to put my business in front of other people, and just it's different to have someone who's actually gone through it like help you because they actually have insight. So
and it's a blessing, so that you don't feel like alone in this struggle. And they're not looking down on you like, oh, you trying to come up where I'm at,
Right. They actually genuinely love to help you, so.
That's beautiful. And, I met with Sarah Jakes Roberts yesterday. Shout out to Sarah Jakes Roberts with Woman Evolve, Refuse to Lose. I had the opportunity to be backstage with her and do the meet and greet, the VIP. And it was so amazing, the fact that she was so personable and impactful at the same time. And it's a beautiful thing when you can take your knowledge and share that knowledge with somebody else and not look down on them for wanting that knowledge, or even just putting yourself in a position to be impactful.
Right, give back.
Giving back. And speaking of giving back, you have the amazing opportunity to work with so many young girls with the chemistry. Cosmetics is chemistry.
Chemistry and cosmetics.
Chemistry and cosmetics. And that's such a selfless act because so many people are selfish with their knowledge. And, people have the tendency, if you get ahead of me, then oh goodness,
like,
oh no, you might be a little bit more successful. Oh no, you got more likes or followers. Oh my goodness. Instead of bridging that gap, and closing that gap, especially amongst young people, because they look at all of us and what we're doing and not knowing there's hard work behind it.
Right.
They see the social media posts and the videos and they think that's all there is to it, and there's not. What made you want to say, okay, I got the formula now, it's working for me, now I want to go grab some more girls? You have Chemistry is Cosmetics, and you work with young ladies.
Yes.
How did that come about?
So it actually kind of fell into my lap.
Yes, fall into your lap, blessings.
It just was that. Yeah, so actually one of my colleagues from college, she reached out to me and asked me, she was like, I know, like, I love what you're doing with your line. Like, do you think you could come in and show our girls at the National Society of Black Engineers National Conference last year? How you do it?
Black Engineers?
I was like, okay, sure.
Yes.
So I came in and the girls, like, they loved it. They really attached onto it. And they were like, I want to come and work in your lab. And at this time, I didn't even have a space. So I was like, you want to come work for me? Like, what?
Listen.
I know.
Listen, okay.
So I saw how it got their minds actually thinking and wanting to actually be creative and understand that it's not just makeup, it's actually science. So for me as a chemist and a STEM advocate, I realized the importance of giving back and being the representation that my community needed, especially for younger girls, because you can look at the numbers.
Absolutely.
And statistically girls fall off around the age of 12 and 13 when they don't go into science.
They do.
So I wanted to create a program where they could actually learn how to create something that they use every day and that they like, and while also like implementing STEM programming and a curriculum. So that's really like, I love it. I love giving back to the kids, and then it's what I love to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, of course I love it twice. So.
Listen, okay. Listen, if you tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm gonna add more too. You got yours too. You can put yours up too. Look, she brought hers too. You're listening to I Said It. Before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. I got the CEO in the building of For Her Cosmetics, Miss Alyssa Space in the building. And listen, she has a program also, Chemistry is Cosmetics, Chemistry in Cosmetics, and make sure you have your daughters sign up to be a part of this amazing mentorship program. Listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and this show is brought to you by PBA Royal. Have your children sign up right now so they can get themselves in media, music, art, and pageantry. Also, listen, if you haven't done your taxes, make sure you sign up for TNT Taxes. Schedule your appointment because they're giving your taxes out now, y'all. They done released the funds now, y'all, so y'all can boil out of control. And listen, if you're looking for a speaker, if you're looking for a host or panelist, I'm your girl, Jaja. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this page. If you know anybody that's in beauty, in makeup, ready to start their makeup line, this young, beautiful woman right here is looking to develop mentees, partnerships, and if you're looking for vendor opportunities, this woman is ready to come and bring her merchandise. She got some right here, y'all, and it's cute, okay? Yes. It's cute, okay? I'm gonna try some on, okay? Y'all know I love me some makeup. Listen, but make sure that you follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and make sure that you share this video. Listen, we're gonna dive right back into it. So, if you're tuning in, we're talking about making the executive decision. So many times we don't like making decisions because they're hard. Right. We would oftentimes rather somebody else deal with the hard problems and we deal with the easy ones. And so because people like you and I have good hearts, we'll go and make the decisions for people oftentimes. And sometimes that can bite us in the butt. Right. Has there ever been a decision that you said, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have did that?
As far as with my business,
when it comes to your business, dealing with cosmetics.
Yes, and I guess as far as like when I first started my business, I was kind of just like I was trying to grab information from everywhere because there was so much I didn't know. Okay, and I realized that it's like I can't spread myself too thin. It's a process. So like in the beginning, I feel like I kind of was just throwing myself everywhere, and now I still have myself spread thin, but I understand the importance of having people help me. So like I'm not afraid to ask for help now. So it's like if I have a pop up and something else to do that day, like, hey, one of my interns, come help me.
You hear me?
I need your help.
You hear me?
You cannot do it alone. It takes a community. You can't build a business by yourself. You have to have people to help you.
You have to. And I think that's amazing that you said, there are times in our business, in our walk, and in our journey that we want to do it alone because it's hard to depend on people because people aren't as reliable as they once were, Right. And then when you do find reliable people, you don't want to burn them out, because they're so reliable. When it comes to making some of those decisions and being influenced by other businesses and what other people had going on, was there ever a point where you said, I got to stand my ground? Like, I feel what you're saying, but no, we're going to go with this today.
This is the decision we're making.
Sometimes people have a hard time, because and women often, especially black women, we often get labeled as being aggressive or, trying to be a know-it-all. But there comes a time in your business and in your life where you have to stand your ground. And you have to make an executive decision where, no, you're not going to treat me like this. No, you're not going to belittle my business. No, I'm not going to allow you to give me more than what you're putting too much more on me. What was one of those decisions where you said, you know what, nah, I got this. I'm gonna make this executive decision because ultimately you're the CEO, right. And they have to listen to your directives. People want a business, but they have problems with telling people and delegating certain things to certain people. Right. Name me an instance or a time where you had to make a decision and it was ultimately something you had to say, you know what? Like I gotta put my big girl panties on and I gotta say some, do some or say something that,
Yeah, I'm not gonna drop names.
Don't drop no names. We don't want no problem, okay? But we gonna say what we got to say.
So it's like I said, we try to glamorize the CEO life, but in all honesty, it takes a lot of hats. Like, you have to wear a lot of hats. So when I first actually did my first round of interns, I hired a girl for a certain position, and it just, like, within 3 weeks, I could already just tell, like, from her energy and the effort, that the interview kind of wasn't really a reflection of what she was capable of or wanted to do. So I had to, like, take that step where it was like, okay, I don't know that this is a good fit for us. And honestly, after I took that step, I ended up finding someone that was, like, 10 times better, way more committed, that was seriously just, like, really into the position, and that ultimately helped boost, like, my online presence too. So it was a matter of, like, just realizing, like, yes, you are a friend, I know you, but at the end of the day, I need my business to grow, and I need effective workers and partners. So I had to make that executive decision to let her go. So
listen, okay?
It happened.
Okay, and if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, okay? But before we take it back, we're going to add more to it. We're talking about making the executive decision. Listen, I have my beautiful, beautiful guest with me today, CEO of For Her Cosmetics, Miss Alyssa Space, and we're in the building. Listen, one of the things that I love that you said is that either you're going to ride, you're going to get off, or you're going to get kicked off.
Right.
Them the only 3 options. You're going to ride with me until the wheels fall off, you going to get off, or you going to get kicked off.
Right.
It's real simple. Because, you know, at the end of the day, and I love the fact that I had the opportunity, again, to go to the Refuse to Lose Women Evolve, because she said something yesterday, Sarah Jakes Roberts, is that we oftentimes get bombarded by the disruption in our life that's meant to destroy us. And we oftentimes have people that want to be a part of the amazing things and the cloud, and everybody wants to be a part of the shining part, but nobody wants to be a part of the grinding part.
Exactly.
You know, the getting up early in the morning, the late nights, you know, the breaking down, putting up, you know, getting boxes, getting storage, taping up, packaging. What was that journey like, seeing friends and family? Because everybody starts off riding with you.
Yeah.
And then there are some people that pull that string on the bus and say, I'm going to get off right here. And then there's some people you just got to be like, you know what? You got to go. Tell me about that in your business.
So that's a touchy topic for sure. Because
it is.
And initially, sometimes people don't even believe in your vision. So it's like you got to block that, because you don't need any negativity coming towards your positive bubble.
Facts.
Because it'll pop it. So just dealing with people that were there for just the ride or the shine part, you have to realize, like, who's in your life to really, like, not just help you, but you help them, but that's there to support you. Because there are going to be people that just want to ride your coattail.
Facts.
And that's unfortunate, but that's how it is. And it's just being able to decipher between, like, which friends or which family members are really there for you.
Absolutely.
And it'll show itself in time. Like, it'll come to the light. It's really there for you. Because when I'm talking about, I'm told my mama to do some things, my friends to do some things, and they do it, and they come through and they help me, versus people that are like, oh, I can't do this, like, dang, like, help a sister out. But it's just really about observing and who's going to be there for the long haul.
And it is, and it, you know, as a woman, we often, you know, people have the tendency of saying, you know, don't take it personal, you know, it's just business. Right. But as women, and men in general too, you have these relationships in life that you are dependent upon their presence, and when they don't show up, it makes you often look at the relationship as if it is their value there. You know what I mean? It makes you wonder, do you value me, or do you value what I bring to the table?
Exactly.
And as entrepreneurs, we oftentimes have to find that out and figure that out along the journey. Go ahead.
I know. I just wanted to add another thing too that I noticed as an entrepreneur, you really have to make the effort to reach out to your friends and family sometimes, because the journey can be lonely too, and they might not even know it. Sometimes it is just like ignorance; they just aren't aware that you're alone or you need help. Because if you don't say anything, then they don't know.
Facts.
So that is another thing too.
Absolutely. So you have to make the decision to be boisterous about your needs, and be boisterous about your wants, as well as setting those boundaries. Because I know that as I started transitioning, and I'm sure when you started transitioning your business, you couldn't go everywhere.
Right.
Couldn't do everything.
Right.
You know, and it was really one of those things, because your goal was to make a generational impact. Now tell me a little bit more about Chemistry and Cosmetics. What do girls come there Because I'm sure they're probably like, chemistry and cosmetics, what does that mean?
Right.
You know, and then boom, here it is, chemistry and cosmetics. So walk me through that.
So the program is essentially, depending on the tiers that you pick for your school or group, it can either be a demo or just an actual introduction or an actual hands-on experience. So the introduction is just me coming in, showing my face, like, hey, I'm a chemist, this is what I do, I exist.
Okay.
Like, this is a possible route for you. The other one is I actually come in and show them how I like work in my lab. So it's not hands-on, but they still get to understand like lab safety, the actual different ingredients that I use, how they work together, why I decided to use them. And then on top of that, I quiz them in science, of course.
Oh, that's awesome! Yeah. So they get almost like a tour.
Yes, essentially, yeah.
Like a tour, maybe like a hands-on tour. So they get to see like the bottles and the things space. That you use, the spaces you use, and how all of those end up to be those products.
Yes, works together. Yes.
And go ahead.
And then the actual full-fledged one that I love the most is the actual entrepreneurship classes that are included with self-esteem, suicide prevention workshops, along with the actual hands-on portion.
That's beautiful.
So then they actually, not only are they learning how to make the products, but they're also like being able to start their own business plan so that they can get into that mindset too.
And you know what? That's so amazing, because not only are you teaching them the skill, but you're teaching them the craft to keep the skill going, because a lot of times people have amazing gifts, but they are not business savvy.
Right.
Or they have this amazing product, but they don't know how to put it out.
Right.
And so there are times where people have the tendency to not know which direction they need to go in, and they have to make a decision. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'll add more to it. I'm your girl, Jaja. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you share this post. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm in the building with my amazing guest, the CEO of For Her Cosmetics, Miss Alyssa Space, in the building, as well as her mentorship STEM program. There is chemistry in cosmetics. Listen, we're talking all about making the executive decision, and you already know we're in the studio at PBA Royal. Have your children sign up for dance, music, media, arts, pageantry, all of that great stuff. If you're looking for a panelist, if you're looking for a host, if you're looking for a speaker for an event, I'm your girl, Jaja. Make sure you book me, because I'm trying to stay booked, busy, and blessed. Can I get an amen?
All 2020.
All 2020. But you know, speaking of building that brand and making that impact, you had to miss some things.
Right.
You're young. You're gorgeous. Okay, honey? She beats. Okay, all natural. Okay, only thing she got on today is what, lipstick and a little brow, a little gloss, and she beat. But you're young. You're beautiful. You had to really discipline yourself. I'm sure there were some things you wanted to go to.
Yes.
Some places you wanted to go. Some friends you wanted to see. How did that work?
So I do have to have balance. So I mean, like my friends, typically the weekends are when I'm the busiest. The week is usually like the beginning of the week is slower for me, but that's because typically my customers are out shopping on weekends. Yeah. So it's like it's really just about balance and realizing like in the long run what's going to pay off. So because I do get that question a lot as a younger entrepreneur. Yeah. Like, so how do you? I have to make the decision. Like I have to make that decision that tonight, okay, I'm gonna be in the lab until 2 a.m. Not at the club.
Not at the club.
Because I can't make money in the club.
I can't make no money. I'm spending money in the club.
Right.
A bottle was $100.
Okay.
I could have made $100.
Okay. But it really is just about like sacrifice. So at the end of the day, like there are some times that I miss going out with my girlfriends or my friends, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I know that I'm making an investment in my future, in the future of my family, and building generational wealth. So those nights will still be there when we go out later on when we're in our 30s. It'll be the same. So
it'll definitely
be a little bit more seasoned.
Okay, more seasoned, and you can identify some BS when it come in front of you. And you be like, nope, you ain't what I want. Nope, been there already. No, matter of fact, I got a meeting to go to. Like I don't even have time. Because you know, as well as in your journey of entrepreneurship, you learn, you know, liars gonna lie, haters gonna hate, people gonna be people. You take things as a grain of salt, you know. And what are some things that you have learned in your entrepreneur journey about working with people as well as servicing people?
One big thing for me is being direct, because like that whole being ambiguous, that, it's just it's not worth it. Like, if you want something, if you need me to provide something for you, or vice versa, like, I need you to be straightforward, because then too, you don't waste time.
Okay, don't waste my time in 2020.
We have expectations already set for each other. So as far as like, even when it's like business to business, like when I go into new vendor shows, like, okay, what is the price? What are the expected amount of people that are participating? Like, is this worth my time to invest in? So if it's one thing I've learned, it's about being direct and ensure what you're doing. So I don't know how else to word that, but like just being confident, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Or being assertive. Because as a woman in business, oftentimes we get overlooked, you know, and not taken serious. And you're soft-spoken. I'm a little bit more, hey, red light, green light, yellow light. You're like, red lights, green light, yellow light. So, which is cool. Yes. But, you know, sometimes people that are softer spoken often get taken advantage of, not knowing y'all pit bulls too.
Like, actually, you signed this.
Furthermore, it's so often that, you know, we find the love that we have in our hearts for things, and we turn those things that we have love for into profit. When you first made your first few dollars, what was that experience like? Because here it is, you've made products, they didn't work out. You made another batch, they worked out okay. You made another batch, you said, okay, I'm on to something. I'm cooking with grease now. And then you started making your products, and then now you have the products. I gotta sell them.
Right.
Somebody gotta buy them. You know, and a lot of times we put things out there in fear. Are people gonna like it? Right. Are people gonna buy it? Are people gonna tune in and watch? Are they gonna subscribe? You know, so we have that anxiety. What was it like celebrating that first few dollars or that first few orders?
My very first sale was actually Mother's Day of 2018.
Wow.
So I was literally like so excited and happy to have finally launched my website. It wasn't what I expected, but it still was like, it was like, wow, okay, so I literally put something out there that somebody wanted. They purchased it, and then from there I actually took feedback. I decided, okay, I'm going to make this better so that in the future, when I market and I have a sale, I'm going to get the actual results that I want. And now it's like, I make nowhere near what I was making when I first started, when I launch a sale or I do a pop-up, because now I have the experience, and now I know what people want. I've been doing research, I've been studying their behavior, so it's definitely like I'm gonna always say this, a process.
Yes.
But it was a love to see that first sale come through.
Okay.
I got a package in my little bag.
Okay, listen, that first sale coming through. Now, with that first sale coming through, how did that feel, knowing that, okay, I've made my first sale, I'm marketing? How can people reach you now and purchase your makeup and your products? How do they, because I know you do pop-ups, and you do a lot of events, but if somebody wants to say, you know what, because you're AKA, so all your AKA soror sisters, y'all all need to come by, national, international sisters, come by your For Her Cosmetics, y'all all get your chapters together and sell her out, okay? Amen. But if they want to order, how do they order your makeup?
So I am online at www.forhercosmetics. So it's FORHER. For her. Okay. Yes, For Her Cosmetics. And then I actually have a lab space now in Detroit. So people have come to my space, even though it's not necessarily a retail storefront, but I do have products on hand. So sometimes people come to my lab space if they find me online.
Maybe you should turn the front of it into like a little store, like, well, maybe a corner of it. Maybe like a little wall, like maybe that big. You know what I'm saying? Like a little
space.
Listen, y'all heard it first. So yeah, I said it. Before I take it back, I'm able to it. Okay, I'm trying to help my sister out. Okay.
Yes.
We trying to get it going now. When it comes to starting a business, they can order their products for her cosmetics.com. You started a cosmetic line. There are thousands of other cosmetic lines. You could have easily been deterred. And if you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. We're talking about making the executive decision. I have my amazing guest, Miss Alyssa Space, in the building from For Her Cosmetics, and there is chemistry in cosmetics in the building. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you follow me on Facebook, follow me on YouTube. But there are so many people who don't follow their dreams because somebody else is doing something similar to what they're doing.
Right.
When you made the conscientious decision, okay, I'm making my products, I'm selling my products, are people going to think I'm trying to copy? You know, were those thought processes in your head? Because people have the tendency to think that people are copying off of them, and you're not copying off of them. You're setting the tone and the bar for what you're doing.
Right.
And you don't know somebody's copying you if you ain't watching them.
Right.
How you know somebody copying you if you ain't watching what they doing?
Right.
You would have to watch to see, okay, this person is copying me, or this person is emulating me. And sometimes emulation is the best form of flattery, honey, because people watch me all the time, say what I say, take my quotes, speak them across the pulpit. They put my words in they Facebook statuses and everything, but ain't nobody copying you though, boo, okay?
Right.
So tell me about that, because you know there's a meme where they say you go down the bread aisle and you see all the different breads.
I've seen that before.
Do you?
So, outside of the fact that vegan now is really becoming more popular,
it is.
I personally, for my vision, I know that I have something that's unique. So, whenever you do come up with a product, having a niche is very important, or niche, how some people say it.
Niche.
But outside of like creating like these vibrant, health conscious products, I also like a big part of me is to push the STEM portion.
Okay.
So like. Something that sets me apart is the fact that I do share my formula. I'm very transparent about the products that I do use in my formula. And on top of that, it's like you don't normally just hear like, oh, I'm a chemist, so I started my own line. Like, and people really like that storyline because it's true and it's authentic and it's just like genuine.
Yes.
Like, somebody who's creating products that they love for people that they love, and also teaching people that they love how to do it. So it's a vision, it's a brand that people will enjoy. So
yes, listen, make sure y'all order y'all some For Her Cosmetics. Get y'all a lipstick or two, some lip gloss. And speaking of making it vegan, like what was that behind the all natural? Because you could have easily went with some products that weren't animal based,
right?
But you didn't have to go full vegan. Like what was that mindset behind? I'm gonna do makeup, but this is what I'm gonna add to it.
Yes. Well, like I said before, I've worked in the holistic field before, but I wanted a product that actually had a shelf life still. Okay. But that still didn't like sacrifice the fact that, okay, I want to be able to feel beautiful, and at the same time, I don't want to poison myself over time.
Absolutely.
So it was really just a matter of like my ethics and morals balanced between like my passion for beauty and science. So I meshed them together and created all natural products. So.
And you know, because of your beauty for passion for makeup and beauty, and young ladies being knowledgeable in STEM, so many women take makeup to cover up internal pains. Right. And we talked about young ladies getting lost in the system between the ages of between 11 to maybe 15. You know, they start smelling themselves, they start becoming sexually active, or just thinking about it. Sometimes they're not even doing nothing. Right. It's just, you know, the hormones and all of the things, and wanting to be attracted by the opposite sex, or by the same sex, depending on, you know, what they got going on. You know, and so when you go and you talk to these young ladies, do you teach them, or do you talk to them about the true beauty even without the makeup?
Yeah, so that's funny you mentioned that. So one of the self-esteem courses that I do include in the actual program is about not only just, okay, yes, I'm beautiful, but actual positive affirmations and understanding like what you put out into the world and what you say about yourself is going to be your reality.
Yes.
So I emphasize this to them because I not only want them to talk into the future what they want, but I also want them to realize like when you look in the mirror, like every morning I get up and do my positive affirmations because I believe it, and I know that if I could put that into the world, it'll come back to me. So I do emphasize a well-rounded like experience for my girls. So like, yeah, you get the science, but you're also about to understand that you're a beautiful, smart, you're a millionaire, you're gonna create wealth, generational wealth, whatever it may be.
Okay, I'm trying to tell you. Yes.
I'm putting it out there into them. So.
And you know, it's so amazing that you talk about that part, because a lot of people have the tendency to think you're in la-la land when you start businesses. It's just like, oh, you pick a product, you get to going, and it's not. It's so many more intricate details that people don't really understand when it comes to certain products and services that you put out there. What were some misconceptions that you had for when you say, oh, I'm going to start me a makeup line. I know it's not going to be that hard, but it might be. And you're a chemist.
Right.
So you knew, I've already studied chemistry, and I know that that's been a challenge for me to overcome. Now I'm getting ready to go into my makeup line. what were some of the misconceptions? Because a lot of people think this stuff is easy.
Right. It's the logistics, honestly, and understanding business. Because I didn't major in business. I had no background in business. I mean, when I was younger, I had a dog walking company. And I had a little candy selling company.
Yes, entrepreneur. Yes,
I was there.
You can have a candy store, a mobile candy store.
Yes. But the logistics behind it, so understanding how to balance your account when you are an entrepreneur, how to do your taxes, even labeling, like proper FDA labeling for your packaging. These are things you don't just innately know or learn in school.
Yeah.
You have to actually go out and do the research, or you have to find the resources that will allow you to learn the proper way to run your business. So I'm always like pushing like different resources. For me, for instance, I've been really involved with like SCORE, which is a nonprofit organization. Tech Town, they help with funding. They do they help with accelerator programs for your business. These are just like different resources that I've been able to use in the city. I've done pitching for like Detroit Soup.
Yes.
So it's always like there's you can always learn and just take from different areas. So.
That's amazing. And you know what? Listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It. And before we take it back, we're going to add more to it. I'm your girl, Jaja, and you are listening in right now. I'm at the studio, PBA Royal. As you always know, they are sponsoring the show today. Make sure you have your children sign up. Listen, if they are interested in dance, music, pageantry, all of that great stuff, all of the arts. Listen, if you haven't done your taxes, make sure you sign up for TNT Taxes, 16,000 West 9 Mile. Get them taxes because they're releasing y'all refunds, and I know y'all ready to ball out. And if you're looking for a host, a speaker, or a panelist, if you're looking for me to be a part of your event, women's conference, or anything dealing with the empowerment and impacting the betterment of the people, I'm your girl, Jaja Hubbard, and I have the amazing Miss Alyssa Space in the building from For Her Cosmetics. Y'all better make sure y'all order some of this cosmetics, okay? She got lipstick, she got lip gloss up in here, y'all. Yes, okay? Listen, I love that color right there, that magenta, like that, that purple. You know, I love purple pinks. I'm a big pink purple fan. Now, speaking of makeup, a lot of things come from overseas. What made you decide you was gonna stick with all American brand? You didn't want to go because you know the coronavirus is heavy over there, girl. Okay. And while everybody ordering stuff, who y'all think putting y'all stuff on y'all stuff with that stuff? Just so you know, when you open that box and that stuff comes out. I'm just saying before I take it back. But you decided I'm gonna create my cosmetic line and I'm gonna keep it here. That was a big decision because you could have easily said I'm gonna let this company handle everything and I'm just gonna sell. Like so many other cosmetic companies do. They allow other production companies to produce their products and then they just ship them. What was that decision like to say, you know what? I'm going to make sure it's USA, straight up all American, made in America.
Yeah. Yes, that was big for me too, for it to be local as well.
Okay.
A big thing about it too is a lot of times businesses do outsource their work because it is cheaper. But honestly, I wanted to be able to create like different, I guess, like sources of income in my neighborhood or in my community. So like it's not all about money for me, at least. Like I personally, like, yes, business is nice, but at the same time, like I'm able to employ interns that are here and local to Detroit, like women that want to go into this area that I just want to pour into my city and pour into the people I love. So that's really why I made sure it stays local and it's also produced here in Detroit. So
okay, absolutely. And you know, because you decided to make it local, make it in the state of Michigan, make it in our country, and people don't understand how impactful it is to support local, how impactful it is because it benefits where you reside, where you live, and people don't take that serious when it comes to supporting your local businesses, your local entrepreneurs, those people that are your neighbors that look like you, because if you catapult them, they're able to pour back into the community.
Right.
They're able to be in positions to help in certain areas that we're not able to do on an everyday basis. I mean, you making a decision to step into chemistry opens up the door for all of the other chemists. Right. You know what I mean? Like the movie, what was the movie where the woman, she just passed away? Hidden Figures. Yeah. Those women opened up the door for other women to walk into those positions. And, you know, speaking of, you know, the positions, we have an election coming up. For those of you that are registered, The election primary is March 10th.
Yes, vote.
Please get out and go vote, because that affects business.
Mm-hmm.
That affects trade. That affects distribution. Mm-hmm. That affects what gets to fly overseas and what doesn't when it comes to trading. How do you what are some ways that you can let people know to be a part of, you know, the political aspect of knowing what's going on in your mm-hmm. community, you know, because people don't realize when it comes to trademark,
right,
that is all government. Mm-hmm. Your EIN number, government. Mm-hmm. Your business name, government. Right. These are all government entities. Mm-hmm. In order for you to solidify creating that product and that service, and people fail to realize how impactful the political world is, right, and what happens in our world. When you decided that you were going to open up a business, did you understand the fact how impactful political, the policies and all of those things? Because you worked with the FDA.
Yes.
The FD, that's the government.
Yes.
The government.
There are rules and regulations, and a lot of times, like, as smaller businesses, that you don't know all of these things, mm-hmm. and they will catch up with you as you start to catapult and grow. So
you hear me?
It's good to know, like, the basics, at least,
yes,
of your government. Like, what are the rules? Like, what do you have to follow per FDA regulations if you do create an at-home product? What are the rules if you don't follow? Like,
yeah.
So you want to be aware of what you are getting into, not just throwing something together and be like, hey, okay, this is it. Like, no, you want to know
absolutely
what you're doing, because those are that's very serious. So.
It's extremely serious, because one of the things that, you know, people, they say, okay, I want to start a restaurant, or I want to do a fashion line, or mm-hmm. you know, I want to do cosmetics, or I want to sell hair, or I want to open up an auto shop, mm-hmm. but they don't realize that there's spacing, mm-hmm. and so many things that come into place. Not even comparison to a lease in an office, right, or looking over a contract. We're talking about federal government policies, right, that are put in place, and if we're not careful, we'll ignore what's going on around us, mm-hmm. the legalities around us, because we're so focused on our business, right, and that can affect us, mm-hmm. all of us. I mean, when the government shut down, it affected everybody and their mama.
Right.
they didn't have no coins, you know. So please get out and vote. One of the things that I definitely want to recognize is that you have such a sweet personality and such a sweet spirit, and in this world, and especially in entrepreneurship, it can cause us to be harden our hearts, because we come across some scrupulous people, right, and some unfortunate situations. How do you deal with, you know, those type of disappointments in your business? Because it can, you know, we all face disappointments, and it can make you give up. It can make you just say, you know what, we talked about this, I'm just gonna go get a job.
Right. Like, man.
You know, like I'm done. I don't want to do it. What gives you that oomph to get up and keep doing it every day?
So aside from just like having discipline, it is a matter of like because when the passion and the fire burns out, like, you gotta have something that gets mm-hmm. you up, that mm-hmm. gets you going. Mm-hmm. And aside from obviously like the stressors of life, like bills and things like that, it's really, when I mentioned earlier, doing what you love. Because if it's something that you love, like, it doesn't matter how much time passes by, like, you're still going to have that same passion, that same desire for it. Absolutely. And for me, I love cosmetics, and then I love science, and I also love teaching children. So, like, it just all comes together for me. So it makes sense. Yes. It naturally, like, I literally can't get sleep sometimes before events, because I'm so excited to do what I'm about to do. And to have been doing it for 2.5 years now, I know that
congratulations.
I care about. Thank you.
Listen, and you know what? Speaking of it all coming together, it's nothing like things becoming aligned. Mm-hmm. When it's not aligned, and if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and we're talking about making an executive decision. When things are out of place and out of sync, mm-hmm. it becomes chaotic.
Exactly.
You're pulled everywhere. But the minute that things become aligned in your life, things become easier mm-hmm. to maneuver and function. Right. You know, even though I'm not where I want to be in terms of with media, and you're not where you want to be in terms of your cosmetics, mm-hmm. you know that you have a goal.
Exactly.
You know, you have a goal there, and it's so amazing because there are those steps, those transitions that you go through, and it's like, you know, okay, I can do this. Mm-hmm. I can do this. This can be done. Now, when you get things in alignment, and now you have structure, mm-hmm. and now you have a flow, and things are in alignment, mm-hmm. and you kind of got your pitch together. Yep. What would you tell people that are starting out? that aren't in alignment, that are being pulled. You know, they don't really have a mission or vision for their business yet. They know they want to do X, Y, and Z, but they kind of being pulled. What would be some directions that you would say, okay, these are some of the things you need to do to kind of get in alignment where I'm at?
Okay, so for me at least, it's just noticing too that things happen naturally, like you were mentioning. So for me at first, I didn't really know about the education portion until it fell into my lap, and then I fell for it. I loved it back. So naturally, things will come that are supposed to happen. Like what's for you is already yours, and you won't have to fight for it. I mean, you'll have to put the work in for it, but you shouldn't have to fight for something that is supposed to be yours.
Facts.
And for me, at least, like I just remained. I still remain humble and focused on what I really want to do. So knowing that, okay, this is my passion for this. If I can make $2,000 doing it, I can make $20,000.
Yes.
Once I make $20,000, I'm like, okay, I can make $40,000 doing it. And I still like what I'm doing. Like it's coming, it's building. So it's really just.
Now, what is some of your favorite products for your company?
Well, my favorite is actually my lipstick because that was like the first line.
Your
first
baby,
thing,
your baby. Yes. The baby is a cosmetic line. Okay.
And then I actually started adding the vegan lip glosses on. So like
vegan lip gloss. So for the girls, for the little girls and the little young ladies, they like lip gloss.
Yes.
And the women.
They're super pigmented. I get great reviews about how they work. Like they're waterproof. I have people who go swimming in them. People who go
to swimming. Okay, I'm gonna get out the water and I'm gonna still be fly.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Yes.
But yes, those are my two favorite right now. And then I'm actually developing like a pressed palette. I have loose powders right now for like eyeshadow and highlighters and shimmers. But I want to start developing pressed powders and foundation. So we're growing.
Now, speaking of growing, where do you see For Her Cosmetics a few years from now? Because you're already 2 years, almost 3 years in. You got 2 more years until your 5-year anniversary.
Yes.
In 2 more years, where do you see For Her Cosmetics?
Honestly, in the next 2 years, I see For Her Cosmetics in either Target or Macy's.
Yes, Target and Macy's. We putting it out there right now. Get a shelf ready. Get a shelf ready For Her Cosmetics.
Right there.
Okay. Yes.
But yes, I wanna grow the business portion, but I also want to grow my nonprofit sector.
Okay.
Where I'm going to have more of my projects in different schools and different districts because this is a way for me not only to expose kids to science but to my brand ultimately.
Yes.
So and they're going to be the next buying generation.
Yes.
So like it's really important for me to see that I'm matriculating into different schools and just growing the brand outside of like just stores but like nonprofits and local organizations.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I have a plan.
Listen. Proper planning prevents poor performance, okay? My mentor, shout out to Tanya Champion, she always says that, listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to, I said it, and before we take it back, we're going to add more to it. I got Miss Alyssa Space in the building from For Her Cosmetics and Chemistry in Cosmetics in the building. Make sure y'all go out and get her products. Listen, we trying to get her into Target, y'all. We already got the lip bar in Target, so let's go ahead and let's get For Her Cosmetics in there, too. We taking over for the 2000s. Okay?
Period.
Listen. What? Period. Okay? And yes, we said it. Now, sometimes our hardships or our hardest moments in our life are often attached to us being hard-headed. What advice would you give to people that are starting out, don't know which way to go, don't know what to do? What advice would you give to somebody that just wants to start a project?
Follow your heart, of course.
Yes.
But don't be afraid to take in that space, and they're trying to help you, and they're looking out for your better interest. It's okay to not know everything because you don't know what you don't know. You don't know everything.
Yes.
And that humility is something that is going to really either make or break you as a business owner. So
that's amazing. Well, listen, guys, we're coming to the close of our show today. I'm so glad that you tuned in with me. I'm your host, Jaja. Make sure you share this video. Share. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. You know Jaja because you do. And make sure you follow me on Instagram and follow me on Facebook. Make sure you follow For Her Cosmetics on Instagram and Facebook, and Miss Alyssa Space on Instagram and Facebook if you want to get some more cosmetics or get some knowledge. Slide into her DMs. Okay. And fellas, listen, don't slide in her DMs with no problems because she trying to elevate. And if you ain't trying to help her elevate, then going on with the problems, okay? Because we ain't got time for that. Okay?
Yes.
What you want to tell the people before we go, girl?
Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to my story in entrepreneurship as well as cosmetics. If you want to check out and learn some more things about me, check out my website, www.forhercosmetics, or social media at forhercosmetics.com.
Listen, y'all heard it first, okay? I'll see y'all next week. Peace out. I love y'all. Mwah.